Hey John, can you hear me okay? All right, so there's a bingo starting in a bit here. So we're down to 7 hours now. So one of the questions we've had was, how hard is this bingo's card going to be? And this has actually changed since they originally released the bingo card the other day. They re-rolled it without the T12 minion, but they said this is actually a harder card because it has some higher collections. So this was the one that people were concerned about. Originally, this was 250,000 bone collection. It's been dropped back down to 100,000, which is still a fair amount. That's going to take a while for the various minions to make. Like Priya is first on the Twitch chat there. Hello, how you doing? So a number of things in here. So what my question is right now, before we actually get to the bingo event itself, how hard are some of these things? Like how hard is it going to be to get the minions going for the bone collector, right? What a lot of these other things are fairly straightforward. These are the other two collection ones though. A jungle wood for 20,000 is a little high because jungle itself is not a great place to grind. There's a lot of people competing for it, and you throw a bunch of bingo players in there all trying to get jungle at the same time. This is one of the ones I think that's going to have to be done by minion because you're not going to be able to grind 20,000 manually. 25,000 diamonds is a little bit easier. That's actually not too bad at all. So we're going to take a look at some of these things real quick and just what we have to do. Most of the rest of these are fairly straightforward. This one's a little challenging. You can't get that many eggs. You're going to have to grind goblins for eggs, and then you're going to have to get lucky with one that spawns out of an egg. A lot of these other ones are fairly straightforward though. Like even 500,000 coin on Miser is not too bad. I regularly go several million. What else is in here? Level 100 pet. Every time I've done bingo, the bingo pet's gotten to level 100 fairly quickly, so I'm not too worried about that one. This one's a little more challenging. You got to get to the crystal hollows. So getting to the dwarf caverns is going to be another one of the early tasks, I guess, right? Because you want to get to the crystal hollows early so that you can find Team Treasurite people to kill without a bunch of other players interfering. This is also one of the ones that may need like something like a Dreadlord sword to do efficiently. You just have to see how it goes. And the rest of these are fairly straightforward. You'll get them off of like fairy souls. You'll get them off of the bingo splashes if you go to the bingo brewers Discord. So that's kind of what we're doing here. So what I'm going to do to kind of give a preview of this is I'm actually going to jump into a brand new Iron Man profile, and we'll see just kind of how some of these things play out. So, the very first part of an Iron Man profile, you don't really have anything, right? It's the same as everything else. On a bingo profile, you're going to have a bingo pet to start with, and it's actually a fairly effective pet for gathering collections. So this will be a little bit worse than what's actually going to be on bingo. So, we're going to have a fairly typical start here. We need to get some coins. We need to get some armor. We're going to have to get to the Spider Island, so we've got to get Combat 1, that sort of thing. I think what's going to happen at the very start of bingo is, people will try to get the sorry, this dialogue taking forever. People at the very start of bingo are going to not quite enough potatoes. I want to get that rookie hoe to start with because it makes getting seeds and stuff later a lot easier. Anyways, so one of the first things people are going to try to do is get to that spider's den and get Combat 1 so they can get there, and then go get the gravel skeletons, right? So I kind of want to see what happens if we just go in here and maybe do a little bit of crops. I'm going to do a patch of wheat. So I wanted the rookie hoe because the wheat's going to drop more seeds with the rookie hoe than they would otherwise, and that's actually going to end up giving us. Whoop, got kicked out. Having the extra seeds drops actually means you get more money faster because you can. In the early game, you're selling seeds as part of your coin raising, right? So, anyways, we're gonna do this real quick. Get some seeds, get some wheat going. get some more farming levels just to get a little bit extra health. We're going to sell this stuff at the farmer and buy some armor and a weapon so we can go get our combat XP going. So it's actually nighttime right now, which is not the greatest time to start a bingo or an Iron Man profile, because the zombies in the graveyard are going to be a little bit stronger. We'll have to deal with the zombie villagers. For bingo, normally if you're getting the bingo splashes, it's not that bad, but this is the Iron Man, so it's going to have practically nothing, in terms of defense and whatnot. We don't need a lot, just see it. We're going to use that /hub command a lot in all these things. But really, we just need enough to go over here and buy a sword and some armor. So you don't have to spend a lot of time doing potatoes and stuff at the very start. On bingo, in fact, you probably want to go get carrots so you can do carrot candy for your bingo pet. Your bingo pet leveled up a little bit faster, but we can get armor. We'll get this zombie sword. I want to get a bow and some arrows too. I don't think I have enough points for it though. We'll come back to that maybe. I'm not sure how much damage I'm going to do to the gravel skeletons. It might be interesting to try a bow against them. Pog Pigeon's asking, what do you think would be better for ghosts? The giant sword with scaff 5, looting 5, or a claymore scaff 4, looting 4? I would say that you probably want to go with a claymore. I've seen a lot of people using claymores on ghosts, and it's been pretty effective. I mean, a giant sword's going to work too, but you probably want that claymore for extra damage. So what we want to do here is kill 10 zombies. That's going to give us enough combat XP to get to the spider's den, where we can go see how hard it is to fight gravel skeletons at the very start. Not much. Gotta be careful with these zombie villagers. They're a lot faster than you when you don't have speed and stuff. Alright, so I got combat 1. Just missed it. So we'll go over to the spider's den. The other thing this is going to give us is a chance to get some coins real quick, right? So at the spider's den, you have a guy in the back who's an archaeologist, right? And he wants you to go look at all these different relics. And every time you find a relic, he's going to give you 10,000 coins, right? So there's 3 relics we can get to relatively easily. But my main question right now is the gravel skeleton. So I'm going to go talk to that guy. Normally I would go up and get a pet from Grandma Wolf, but this profile's not going to be around very long, so we're just going to do this real quick, because what I'm mostly curious is how well I can fight these gravel zombies right at the start. So 2 hits is not bad. I didn't think it would be more than that, but talk to this guy, get that dialogue started. So the one thing about gravel skeletons, when they drop bones, you'll see here in a second, see how they drop multiple bones? One of those bones is a respawn bone. And what will happen is if you leave it there, the skeleton will respawn off of that bone. But if you pick it up, it won't, right? So that's one of the reasons why it might be better to have a bow here. Because if you can get the bones to kind of pile up, you can get skeletons more quickly. Now, the drawback to that, and the thing why I don't think it'll work very well for bingo, right at the start at least, is you have to have combat 6 to get auto pickup. There's no more telekinesis, so you can't run around like you used to and just get piles of bones piled up and collect the bones through telekinesis. You have to get combat 6 before you can do that. So we're going to probably be fighting up close to the zombies. So I think the bow is not going to be useful at all, now that I've thought more about it. Hey there, Drog, over in the Twitch chat. Nice to see you. Swimar, I am not doing bingo right now. That's in the YouTube chat. I am basically doing kind of a preview of what it's going to be like at the very start of this bingo, where we have this bone goal. And what I'm kind of doing right now is just getting some coins. So mostly what we want to do is get some extra money for maybe better equipment. going to use the portal hub to get back to... oh, it's too busy. Too many people using portal hub. There's a couple other ones that you can use. I don't remember all the different names off the top of my head because this is the one I usually use. So the other thing to remember about portal hub is you come... wherever you came in from, that's where you are, right? So if we want to go back to the spider's den, it's really easy to jump back to the start from anywhere. If you get stuck in a place or you're in a hard place to get out of, or you're trapped by spiders, you can just go to portal hub and come back in at the start. What I want to do though is I want to use warp hub, because I'm going to go from here at the graveyard edge, use warp hub again just by going up arrow, and put some of these coins in the bank. But first I'm going to get some I'm going to try that bow just so we can kind of see what it does, right? And I can't buy any better armor just yet. I don't have the combat level for it. You have to have combat 3. Arrows. Got that seasonal short bow. Oh, combat 4. I thought you could get it earlier than that, but not. Well, this does damage to skeletons, so that'd be one to try, right? Plus 100 damage to withers and skeletons. I don't want to waste my reforge on that bow. I want to do it on armor. So we're not going to talk to the blacksmith just yet. But now we can go back to Portal Hub. Go back to the spider's den. So we have about 7 hours left until bingo starts. So I'm going to be streaming when bingo is actually there. But for now, we're just going to go see what these things do. See how much it takes to get enough bones for a minion. And that's going to be a little bit crazy once all the bingo players are in. Especially if you stay in the bingo splash parties, you're going to get pulled to the same server as the other bingo players, right? Because it tries to put people in parties together. So you might have to actually leave the bingo splash parties to be able to... Yeah, see, that's going to be a 2-shot setup just for the bow. It's a lot easier to do 1 shot on these guys, or 2 shots of melee than 2 shots of bows. The bow's only going to be worth it anyway if you have telekinesis, so there's no point in trying to do bows at all, I guess. So yeah, so what I'm wanting to do here is basically figure out what I'm going to be doing in 7 hours on the bingo. So, right now it looks pretty easy because there's only me really doing these skeletons. But when we get a number of bingo players in all at once, it's going to be a lot harder. So this is probably one of the things you want to do very early on, is just go straight to the spider's den, start fighting these. What we want to get is the recipe. These are actually the same amount of combat XP you get off of the zombies in the graveyard. So there's the recipe. That wasn't very much at all. So you get it before you get a stack of bones. What we want to do now is get a minion. I'll show you what I was planning to do with the rest of these coins here. So we actually have enough to make 1 minion fairly quickly. So my goal was to find out, is it going to be a real challenge? And I think even with a bunch of people fighting these graveyard zombies, you're going to be able to get enough bones to get your minion collection unlocked, and then get your, enough to get 1 minion. Now, here's the thing though, you don't actually have to do that. You got to get 50 to unlock the minion recipe, and then the next thing you should do is go back to the hub, do that warp hub again, and then go over to the adventurer. Now we've collected some of those relics and we got that initial coins. We can just come straight to this adventurer, and they're going to sell us bones. We can buy up to 10 stacks of bones, so we can make enough to cover our initial fleet of minion slots right off the start here, right? That only took 5,000 coins. We didn't even need to go to get all those different relics for that, right? We could have done that with just a little bit of grinding of wheat. All right, so let's make some wood here. We'll make some chests for our island. We'll need those eventually anyway. Some sticks. Make a couple of swords. Then let's make our minions. So 6 minions. I got enough to make some other minions. Let's see how many If I make 3 more unique minions, I'll get my 6th minion slot. So what I can do is use those bones that we got, make one of these a tier 2, and then we can just go make like a potato and a carrot minion. There's a T2. So we're low on bones at this point, but we can just go real quickly, and it doesn't take very long at all to get the potato and carrot minions unlocked here. Or wheat minion too, we can do wheat. We just want 2 more minion tiers of any kind. Potatoes, you need 2 stacks of potatoes. And actually, I'll show you another thing we're going to do with our coins. So we already got the potato recipe unlocked, we just missed it earlier. So what I'm going to do here is go back and do the same trick we just pulled, right? We made a number of minions with, the bones from the adventurers. We can do the exact same thing with potatoes from Potato Farmer. And since we only need 2 tiers of any kind, right? You can just buy a bunch of potatoes and make a T2 or T3 potato minion. And now there's our 6th slot already. So go back to the island, get these guys placed, and pull up this cobblestone minion. And build a bridge with his cobblestone. Alright, so now that we've got access to this space, I'm just going to put, for now, these minions down all in a group. We're going to move them later. We have to get storage for them, because they're going to make a lot of bones, and we're not going to want to spend all our time emptying minions. So we have 6 slots, so we can put down all 6 because we picked up our column minion from over there. So these guys will get started on working, and we can actually start working on things like getting the small storage for them. That's going to be the oak collection, which will be fairly easy to do. We'll probably want to get coal going. We'll want to, I think of what I want to do. One thing I want to do is get some of the talismans. We've got the extra coins here. We don't really need to spend them on anything right now. So, we can get like the scavenger talisman, intimidation talisman. What I think I want right now is just this village affinity talisman. I want to go a little bit faster in the village. And then the zombie and skeleton talismans, because I want to have some protection from the zombies and skeletons, because we're in a pretty delicate state right now. So let's see, we're not even 20 minutes into a profile, right? So I don't think that bingo goal for skeletons is going to be all that hard to do. See what's on the card real quick. A lot of dialogue for the bingo event. Alright, so the other ones were the jungle wood and diamond collector. Jungle wood's going to be a little complicated because we can't just hop straight to the jungle, but we want to get there fairly early, right? But we also need to have small storage unlocked for our minions so we can let them run for a while. So what we're going to do is come over here and get some more wood. Sorry, not get some more wood. We're going to, we have this option of buying all this wood. I think I want to go ahead and do that, but I got a bunch of junk I need to get out of my inventory. So let's get rid of these potatoes that we don't really need anymore. Main reason I want to buy this wood now is I don't want to forget to do it later. So I'm just going to do this while we have coins before we end up spending all of our coins accidentally on armor and whatnot. So we'll just go put this stuff away real quick. And we're going to use this in a few minutes just to make our small storages. So you see we got a bunch of skeletons over there. They will knock us off. We don't have an intimidation talisman, so that's another thing we should probably go get. Oops, I want to go to hub. That intim tally will keep the skeletons from the minions from attacking us, which right now would probably kill us. So we're down to like 7,000 coins pretty quickly here. We can get coins pretty easily just by doing wheat mining or wheat grinding. So I'm just gonna put these coins away for now. One of the things I like to do when I'm playing bingo, I actually have the luxury of having a lot of the ender chests unlocked in there for every profile. But I like to keep my minions, on hand for different things. Like I'll usually put like mining minions in one place, the farming minions in one, and I usually keep one for various weaponry. Sorry, not various combat-based minions. We do need a little bit of coins though. I'm just going to go. Well, I think I'm just going to sell the wood I have. What I want to do is get some gold here for a gold axe. It's not going to be super helpful. It's not very expensive either, so I'll just sell like seeds and maybe I'll just sell the cobble I had and get that stuff later on. So the gold axe is just a little bit faster than like some of the more basic axes. The problem is we don't have enough levels to ramp this up at all. We can't enchant this. So you can't really do much at the start. And for bingo, we'll have a bingo splash from the bingo brewers, so it'll be a little bit easier moving around. Won't be quite as slow. You can see that village talisman has improved our speed a little bit already. We'll get slow again once we get out over here. So since we need foraging levels to go get jungle wood, right, to get a jungle minion going, we actually can just cut this oak because we need small storage, and that's going to give us our foraging levels that we need to get to the jungle islands, while also giving us a chance to get through the recipe for the small storage. So you can see it gave us access to the spruce woods, and we get foraging 2. Again, this is also easier when you have a bingo splash because you get haste 4 out of that, and this gold pickaxe would basically insta-mine this wood. So this would take a lot less time on a bingo too. But even as it is, you can see it's pretty fast. So we've already got dark oak access now. Basically need to get to foraging 6. 6, 5, one of those. So the other thing to keep in mind is that, as soon as bingo starts, everyone starts at the same time. So, resources like this might be a little harder to find unless you have VIP where you can hop to a smaller hub. And even then you might be competing with people. So when I mentioned my videos for starters earlier, unfortunately when I went to record my video on that same profile for making minions, I ground minions and recorded a video, and then the entire file got corrupted. So, alright, so there's access to the jungle island. So what we can do now, actually let me double check to see how many oak we have. Yeah, so we've got a ways to go for small storage. And our minions are still going to be working for a little while without needing storage. So what I'm going to do is right away, as soon as I get that unlocked, I'm going to go back to Portal Hub. If I can type it. And we're going to go straight to the Jungle Island. I think they're on the other side over here. Oh, I should get cakes too while I'm here. These are important. It will let me. There we go. I wish we had to right click the cakes, not left click. All right. So the problem with the jungle island is if you get a jungle axe, you can get these trees that go up. If you want to be efficient, you want to go for the logs. And you can see even now, outside of bingo, there's a bunch of people competing for the logs. This is pretty regular most places. Like, I feel like you almost always have to fight with people for logs for jungle wood. We only need 50 jungle collection though, because we can do the same trick that we did with our other coins and go buy jungle wood to make our minions. The question is how many we want to put out. I don't think we need to put out more than one right now. We'll give up one of our well, I take it back. We can either give up one of the skeleton minions, or we can actually just go and unlock another minion slot really quickly and put a jungle wood minion out. I think that's probably what I'm going to end up doing here. So the trick is to get that jungle recipe unlocked for the minion. So the wood minions are a little bit more complicated. You have to get the 50 jungle wood, but you see I've already got, I'm only at 47. Sorry, I was thinking I didn't get enough, but I did. So we'll get that pretty soon here. There's the jungle minion recipe. So that's all I care about. I don't want to fight a bunch of bingo players for jungle wood. I'm just going to go back to the hub. And we'll get enough. We've already got 600 coins on us from the different foraging levels that we unlocked. So we'll just go straight to the lumber guy and buy the jungle wood that we need. Now we can make a minion. So we need 9 more minion slots to get our 7th minion. We've already got 2 of our potato minions done. So we can do carrot, and we can do wheat. And even just getting, 9 levels out of those guys won't be very hard to do. So I'll put some of our jungle wood away. And the rest of the oak stays up there. We'll want to go back and get our recipe, but we don't need it right away. So it's probably better to just wait a little bit. The minions can work for a while without us intervening. So we'll put our foraging minions on this one. So having a lot of inner chests is helpful. You can do this without it. I just like to keep them organized so I can find them later on. A lot of times you can't figure out where you put stuff. So those guys are all happy and productive. We'll go back to the hub. What we're going to do is just get wheat. And we'll do enough potatoes for another level. We didn't really use up much of our allotment. You get 10. You can buy 10 stacks a day, and we didn't use hardly any of our potatoes, I don't think. Or maybe we did. I'm just being forgetful. And we can make another netherwort minion too. That'll be helpful. So we'll just get like the hub resources here: carrots, wheat, netherwort, potatoes. Grab this fairy soul real quick. Can't reach it apparently. Should be able to reach that. There it is. Just hard. So the other thing to keep in mind is that when you're on bingo, you have a higher collection from the pet and other things, so you'll get more collection more quickly. So it won't take even as long as it did to get the various things that we just did. So what I'm saying mostly is don't spend all your time fighting with other players when you can just go buy those things, because you can get that 30,000 coins out of the spiders in really quickly, and then just not have to run around competing with everyone. Always remember to check that minion, because a lot of times you'll find 15 and 20 hay bales in there sometimes. So one thing I dislike is, we don't have a way of picking up all these items. Unfortunately, there's not much we can do about it until we get combat 6, and it takes a little bit to get combat 6, so I'm not going to mess with it at the start. We're gonna need some hose here. We got enough for one. Those two of our minions. We need 7 more for being able to place that jungle minion down. By the way, I don't deal with friend requests during streams. I'm sorry. If I did, I would just end up answering friend requests all the time. So it's better not to do those right now. So another thing I want to get is quick crafting. It makes all this a lot easier. For now, I'm just going to go back to the hub and sell off all the seeds out of my inventory. Alright, so let's make that netherwort minion and the hoe for the carrots minion. Might as well go get the carrot minion going. Spooky Festival was just recently, so I don't know why they're setting off fireworks right now. I mean, I guess it was close enough, but it's not like you can buy like the talisman or anything like that. So a couple things we want out of the carrots. We want to get the minion, but we also want that simple carrot candy recipe that we just got. Because when we got a bingo pet, you can't keep the bingo pet. It's only for that profile. So it doesn't really matter if you put candy on it. And the bingo pet levels up faster. I'm sorry, levels up your collection. The higher the pet level is, the more collection and stuff you get. So you want to level that up pretty quick. So one of the things you can do is get carrot candies right at the start and put them on your bingo pet to get a quick start, basically. All right, so there's 4 more we have to make to get our 7th slot. We can do netherwort pretty easily. We can do wheat a lot more easily. Let's just go back to the hub and hop over to a different hub. If you don't have VIP, you can just use the main hubs, but you're going to be competing with a lot of people. If you do have VIP Plus, you have access to the smaller hubs just by right-clicking. A lot of times you'll find wheat in those. Unless it's a wheat contest and everyone's fighting over it. So I'm going to actually throw out this green candy. I don't need it right now. What I did was I filled my inventory with wheat. This is one of the tricks to get wheat faster, so you don't have to deal with your inventory filling up. You can basically go longer without having to mess with all your inventory being constantly full of seeds. It's easier when you have, like, you know, enchanted seed recipes and stuff like that, and you have a compactor from the higher level of bingo. But for now, we're just going to get the wheat that we need to make that next tier of minion. If you notice, we've been picking up the wheat, hay bales out of the minions. And that's helping us get hay bales for the next tier of minion slot that we want to do. The other thing that we want to try to get to is farming tin, just so we can access the contests. I think there was a bingo goal for a wheat hoe, or not, sorry, a math hoe, and I think that bingo goal got removed when it re-rolled, so probably don't even need that right now. Let's see where we're at. So our inventory is mostly full here. We can make another tier of our wheat minion. And actually, better than I thought. I thought I had to get, I thought that was going to take all the stacks right then, but we actually have another tier of minion with just wheat, so we can get our jungle minion placed in just a moment. Alright. This field should do it for us. There's the inventory full. Not full though. I was trying to pick up seeds, that's why I was complaining about it being full. Should be getting close. Yeah. Okay. So there's 2 more. So now we can do the rest on probably our nether warts. I may have enough for hay bales. I think it takes 16 hay bales though, maybe. Can't remember. Nope. More than that. So it's going to probably take a little bit more. So let's just do that real quick to see what the minion goes to. Because then we only have to do 1 more level of nether wart minion. See if it's 42 or 32 hay bales. Nope. I'm just gonna look at the recipe because I'm being lazy. So tier 5 is okay. So we need 12 hay bales. That's more than what I want to deal with right now. That's a stack and a half of hay bales. So let's just go see what we can get with them. Nether wart on that minion. Actually, I'm gonna dump some of the stuff at the farmer first, get some coins out of it. We don't need those anymore. We're gonna do it with nether wart, so we don't need the carrots. I don't really care about the wheat because it's so fast. Or those potatoes. So we got plenty of room for nether wart in our inventory. Pokemon Master, it's not bingo. This is my bingo preview. So we're doing some of the tasks that we are going to need to do in bingo in about 6 hours. But doing them ahead just to kind of see how long it takes on an Iron Man and get a feel for whether or not they're going to be hard or not. Right now I'm leaning toward maybe not even bothering with the skeleton minions right at the start. Trying to do some of the things that you need. It's going to take a little bit longer to do. Just because I don't think you're going to have all that hard of a time in the long run. You know, even on bingo, with other bingo players, trying to get those minion slots unlocked, because you can buy all the things that you need basically to make the minions. You can buy stacks of bones. You can buy. I think you can buy. Yeah, you can buy like the jungle wood. I don't think you can buy nether wart anywhere, which would be nice, but. I'm just doing nether wart for the slots anyway, so it doesn't really matter. It's not one of the goals. So there's 1, and we need 1 more. It looks like it's going to be the one that requires the full 40, maybe? Let's see. Oh, there it is. Okay, so that's our slot for our jungle. Let's go grab our jungle minion that we put away. And we'll put away these other minions. So there's our carrot and wheat. We'll call nether wart a farming minion. Some of these supplies in here. And I don't really, I don't think the jungle minion is going to care too much wherever we put it. I'm just going to stick it over here for now. I might have to clear some of this. Yeah. Okay, so, you know, these guys are being productive. they filled their inventories halfway, right? They don't have coal or anything in them. So that's another thing we could do to make them go faster. But what I think we probably need to do is go get our storage for them sorted out. So we'll go back to the hub now and start working on the storage. And in the meantime, let's go buy some of that coal. Give them some fuel. I don't want to spend too much. I'm just going to buy 1 stack right now. We have 7 minions. We have, 30 minutes of fuel with 1 coal. And since I'm going to be picking these guys up and, changing their configuration so we can put storage down for them, right now I just don't want to give them 1 coal each just to make them work faster while, not wasting too much when we pick them up. All right. Put some of our stuff away we don't need right now. I don't have a quiver yet, so I gotta run around with all these arrows on me. I don't need this wood sword with me right now, though. Alright. So back to grinding out the rest of those small storage. It shouldn't take us that long. We're about halfway there, just with the little bit of grind that we did earlier. Hey Rom, how's it going? Going pretty good. I'm feeling pretty confident that the skeleton goal is going to be easy with minions. Like a lot of people are concerned about not being able to do the skeletons. The bone collection goal, I think it's going to be pretty straightforward. Like we're going to be set up in less than an hour with 6 minions. And then, it wouldn't take much to grind the rest of the minion slots for that. 6 minions won't be enough. You gotta have higher than that. Let's say people were trying it for 200,000, they were doing 12 minions to tier 5. But we don't actually need 200,000 anymore. We only need 100,000, so it was 250,000 honestly. I think the 6 minions, you could run that the whole bingo and probably come pretty close to what you need, because you're going to get some bones from the fighting the spiders in the spider's den. At some point you're going to get some bones from just fighting things in general. But the other thing is you're going to get a lot more collection while playing bingo, because you have a bingo pet that boosts your collection stats. So see where we are. I think it should be pretty close. Yeah, so 70 more, 72. Alright, so there's the small storage recipe. We already have a bunch of oak on the island, so we don't have to get all of our oak manually. We just get the stuff that we bought from the vendor. and create a number of these things. That'll give us 8 small storages, which is 1 more than we need for the number of minions we have right now. So the other thing we want to do is build a way for these minion output to be harvested manually. Right, so we've got a lot of skeletons. They're pretty straightforward. Like, for now, I don't know if I want to deal with much more than just containing all these things, but let's get these minions picked up so we can replace them here in a second. Problem is, while we're on the island, the minion skeletons wander all over the place, and we'll never see them collect anything really, unless one happens to wander by. So picked up our cobblestone minion early, so we don't have a lot of building materials. I may end up using some of the oak wood that we had. I think that's probably, I don't know. Oak is useful for more things, so I think maybe it'd be better just for us to go get some more birch wood. Birch doesn't serve a lot of purpose in the game, so I tend to use it for building all sorts of stuff when I don't really care too much about it. So what I'm looking for is a place where we can have minions above and dropping, skeletons down into something. Where I can basically fight the skeletons easily, reach all of them at once, not have to deal with trying to pick up their stuff and other things like that. So we're just going to make a little skeleton drop area here, and the idea is that you want it high enough for the skeletons to be in, and then you want to have a way of placing fences for the minions to spawn stuff on, and then you want the minions themselves to be up a little bit higher, right? So you want them to spawn on something that's going to drop them down. So we're going to put the minions up here. I don't know quite where yet. And basically, what we're going to put for them to spawn on is something that's right here. So we'll put a fence post there, right? One above it, up here. Actually, I can just go ahead and make that real quick. Get that out of the way. We're basically giving them as a target for spawn point without letting them have, skeletons everywhere. So the skeletons will spawn on this fence post. They'll drop down into this little chamber, and we'll never have to deal with them outside of that. So since we have 6 right now, we'll just do a basic pattern. We might want to change this later on. We want to have chests on the sides, basically, and the one in the middle has to have an alternate place to put his chest, right? So if we do like this, it's kind of a little chevron pattern, right? That's where they will be able to have their storage next to them. So we'll give them their storages. And we can actually put one in the middle here for this guy. For the other one going the other direction, we won't be able to do that. But what we want to have is, this kind of zigzag pattern basically lets us have the space for them to have the chest, because you can't put the 2 chests next to each other, right? So we'll get rid of some of these wood that these guys are spawning stuff on right now. And then the other thing we got to keep in mind is they can't have their storage. They'll spawn stuff on top of their storage if you let them. So you got to put 2 blocks tall on top of their storage as well, so that they don't spawn things just that stand around doing nothing right there in the middle. So for now, we'll just get rid of these guys. We bought that intimidation talisman so they don't attack us. Otherwise, we'd be being knocked all over the place. So we're kind of going to do the same little pattern here with these next minions, but backwards, right? So these guys go in the middle, and this one comes out over here, and now we can put small storage for these guys. And then we'll put our, oh, right, forgotten about that. Can't actually put the two minion chests together because they try to make a double chest. So we have to actually put this minion and these chests in slightly different configuration. So this guy goes here. This chest is going to have to go on the side, right here. Okay. All right. So now we can put these on top. And then we'll just chop away all the rest of this junk here. Give ourselves a little bit of a stair step to the top. And then we'll get rid of the rest of these. So this is the only point now where those minions can spawn. Well, should have been the only point where they can spawn a skeleton. We'll need to lower this one level. That's easy enough to do. Alright. So now, their only spawn point is this point in the middle. We can still reach the minions, right? So it's very easy for us to empty them. But these skeletons have to spawn basically in a spot that just dumps them right into the middle here. And once we get something with cleave on it, or even just a cleaver, you know, we can kill these really quickly. I just want to clear them all out for now, make sure that they're all being spawned in correctly. Yeah, that's about all we need to do. We do need to put fuel on these minions. So if we have more minions later on, we add more skeleton minions, we can just build another little area like this, or we can reconfigure them. Most of the time, though, you're not going to want to move your set minions around all that much. So we're going to just give them some fuel so they go faster for now. This doesn't really matter. I'm going to throw this profile away after we're done with this, but this is kind of what we're going to be doing on Bingo. So the trick is, when you're offline, they don't need to be able to reach them directly. When you're online, you don't want to spend a lot of time on your island anyway. So, you know, these guys will just kind of gather up in a group here. You can just kind of take them out like that. So when you have the looting on your weapon or whatever, it's going to make it a little bit easier. We can actually make this more straightforward for us to get the stuff. They'll stay up there, you stay down here. Whenever you spawn in, there's going to be a bunch of them. Your looting from your weapon will make it more efficient to kill them that way. Then we'll get this guy. So here's the other thing. We know we want 20,000 jungle wood. We barely spent any coins on jungle wood yet. We've got some more coins in the bank, so from those relics that we gathered, we can actually get that guy bumped up just by buying the rest of the jungle wood. We can get him to at least tier 3. Yep, so he'll go a little bit faster. He has a little bit more space. One thing we did not do is give him a small storage yet, so let's do that now. So he'll have, you know, 6 slots of jungle wood before he fills up. We've got enough bones to upgrade one of the minions. Let's do that. We want them to work as maximally efficiently as we can, so we'll upgrade him. And I think we're right at an hour. So in an hour, we can get the bulk of the harder stuff done in terms of getting ramped up. You know, we've got 6 skeleton minions running to run that 100,000 collection for bones. We can make more minions in that same configuration and put them on the edges here, stack them above each other. This is actually high enough we can put minions on top of these minions. So we could have 12 minions in that one little group, and this little thing would work. We've got our jungle minion working on our 20,000. We can then start working on all the other little odds and ends in the bingo profile. So let's go take a look at those real quick. So a number of these require going to the crystal hollows. Like, you can't do the team treasure right without crystal hollows at all. Diamond collector, you can get kind of on the way to doing that. 40 unique collections is pretty easy. Bone collector, we've already started. Got to do dungeons for 2 of these. You know, Bonzo and the dungeon chest. Getting the XP, that's just grinding out the fairy souls really quickly. That's not all that complicated. Getting a pair in the experimentation table happens almost automatically. 22 accessories is not that many. There's a large number that you can get just from the lower tier collections. You can look at one of the bingo guides for the easiest ones to get. You know, combat 10 is nothing. That's going to happen automatically. Pet hoarder is going to be one of the more challenging ones. So you need 9 unique pets, which means you're going to have eggs. You're going to have chicken minions probably to make chickens to drop eggs, unless you can find someone who can generate eggs. Once you get an egg hat, a chicken hat, you can make eggs. It's a little more complicated, but you can do it pretty quickly. 5 bestiary is not that bad. Mediocre ring of love doesn't take hardly any time at all once you've gotten the. Let's just do that real quick. You know, I'm using Visit Portal Hub. Whoops. In bingo, you'll have access to all the different warps, so it's a little bit easier. But basically, all you have to do, you know, for this, and it's even easier when you have a bingo splash, right? Because you can you have jump boost and things like that. But this little mediocre ring of love is not a whole lot. You basically just have to get some emeralds mined. That's one of the. Like, this is probably one of the ones I'll do much later because it's not really going to be competition for anything that's needed for it. She's going to tell us all about Romero. Romero's in the cave south of here, which is basically below the acacia forest. One thing we don't have a pickaxe on us, so we'll probably have to go get that if we want to do this. But anyways, I'm not actually going to do this. I think we're probably pretty good at an hour here. I don't want to go too long because I'm going to be streaming tonight for the regular bingo too. But you know, the mediocre ring of love is like 3 tasks into the Romero challenge, right? So it's not anything complicated, and we can just do that later on. So I think what I'm going to do now is shut this stream down. I think we're kind of shown that it's not going to be that hard, or at least as hard as people have been saying, since they've reduced the requirements a little bit. And it's pretty straightforward. You know, you get your minions to do the work, you know, for the things that are a little bit higher in the collection. That jungle minion by itself will make the 20,000 collection. You know, we can add more once the skeleton minions finish, you know, or the diamond. Diamond we can actually manually grind. There's a couple of good places. I showed some in the previous video. I'm doing a quick start. You know, it's not a huge time sink. So yeah, I think the things that people will find most challenging here are going to be not nearly as complicated as people were concerned about. So that's it. Catch me later tonight. Let's go see what the timer says. I think it's 6 hours at this point till bingo. 6 hours, 51 minutes. So just over 7 hours until bingo starts. So that's when I'll be streaming, probably about 5 minutes before bingo. If you want to come back and join me then, please subscribe. I'll see you then. Thanks for watching.